Don, thanks much. Let me find it. I've got a story here. Now, I've got so many stacks. Now I don't know what stack it's in. But this was a primary item I was going to discuss today. Here's the first of it. Democrats have taken advantage of millennials. This is a story by Alex Smith, who's a national chairman of college Republicans. And this is fascinating in and of itself, but that is just one aspect. Let me find the other one. It's just the notion. I guess maybe this is it. And from this, I had a bunch of thoughts that flowed from this. What I concluded from this, and by the way, I've written an op-ed for a millennials website, and I've been paying a lot of attention to this. And what I have detected is that there is a massive pessimism out there, folks. Let me call it depression, but young people do not at all think they have a future economically. They see themselves burdened with student loan debt that they can never repay. They see themselves in many cases with degrees that don't matter to anything. You have the Democrat Party, Obama exempted. Democrat Party, the news media focuses on pessimism. They focus on what's wrong. By definition, everybody in this country is inundated with negativity at every turn. Newspapers, television, movies, TV shows, songs, whatever. The negative pessimism is there, and young people are just obsessed. You get 21% or 21, I forget what the number of millennials that the age group is now up to 18 to 25, I think, right now, living at home still. And the first thought that I had about this was, I recall what Stephen Ratner said as Obama's first car czar. He's little Pinch Schultzberger's best friend in New York, Stephen Ratner. He's a investment banker of sorts. He's worked at Lazard Ferrer. Wherever the liberals need a Mr. Fix-It, this guy goes there. He was talking about Detroit. And he said, aside from participating in elections, the people of Detroit are no more to blame for what happened to their city than people that don't live there. And I said, but isn't that the point? They voted for it. They are responsible for it. What do you mean, aside from participating in the democratic process, they're not to blame? They voted for it. The people in Detroit voted for what? I'm sorry to yell. I know I'm scaring 25-year-old women. They voted for it. Well, the millennials voted for this. So when I hear that they're depressed because they don't think they have a future, they don't think they have an opportunity for a future, because there isn't a growing economy. There's no place for them. There's no opportunity. I get frustrated. And I say, yeah, well, you voted for it. When are you going to wake up and realize that you are partly to blame for it? You voted for this. And then I remember the Limbaugh theorem, where Obama is not held accountable for any of this, especially among people that voted for him. He's constantly campaigning. As far as people that voted for the guy are concerned, he feels the same way as they do. He's worried. He's pessimistic. He's trying to fix it. But then intellectually, and this is the trap I fall into. Intellectually, by intellectually, I mean thinking about it. They elected it, and they're living it. When they voted for Obama, they thought the exact opposite of this was going to happen. I'm sure they thought they were voting for a brighter future. Sunshine, lollipops, and roses. They thought they were voting for panacea, utopia, or whatever. And they got the opposite of what they wanted. And there was a part of me, well, okay, you're all pessimistic. I don't feel sorry for you. You voted for it. Live it. And it's frustrating that they don't see that. It's frustrating that they're not asking themselves if they're partially responsible for this. And I get nuts. I go crazy wanting to know why these young people that are very smart haven't figured out that voting for liberals and Democrats is what's making them pessimistic. And then I catch myself, and I remember that African Americans have been voting for Democrats for 50 years and haven't seen why they're in such a mess. So why should I expect millennials to see it? And practically every other Democrat special interest group is in the same boat. They've been voting for Democrats for years under the premise that the Democrats are going to protect them, elevate them, get even with their enemies. All that happens is their lives get worse. They become more dependent. And yet they never blame the Democrats. So I was asking myself, why am I asking the millennials to understand what they've done? Well, that then dovetails into a discussion of the Republican brand, where I think it is safe to say that as we sit here today, anything in politics can change, obviously, but as we sit here today, young people and women are just closed-minded when it comes to the Republican Party. They're not even willing to listen. So firm are they in their minds that the Republican Party is evil, rotten, uncool, unhip, whatever. So you can almost say it boils down to a sense of personal responsibility. Why is the Washington Post in trouble? Could part of the answer to the question be that the reporters, the people at work there who put out the product, don't understand why their paper's such a mess? Do you think they're asking themselves what they're doing wrong? Guarantee you they're not. They think they're great. They're elites, after all. They're special. The paper's in trouble because you're stupid. You're not smart enough to see how good it is, how brilliant they are. It's not their problem. So you combine all of these things, the sense of personal responsibility, the desire for utopia panacea, the belief that Obama's the guy that's going to deliver that, combined with the Republican Party as a bunch of old-fashioned, stuck-in-the-mud, uncool, fat white guys. And where are we? We've got utter pessimism out there. And most of this, look at you and I, people that did not vote for Obama, we're pessimistic we're pessimistic because we are asking ourselves, why is the rest of the country such a bunch of idiots? Can I be honest? That's what we're depressed about. How in the hell has this happened? How is this country so popular with so many stupid idiots? They are depressed because the promises they thought were made to them haven't come true, and they're now thinking it isn't possible. There is no future. To me, this is ripe for good old-fashioned plain conservatism. Optimistic, you can do it kind of conservatism. Optimistic, you must do it kind of conservatism. Optimistic, it can be done kind of conservatism. Optimistic belief in individuals that they can do it. Pep talk time, in other words. Got to take a break. Back in a second.